This podcast is created as part of Podcast Lab by India Film Project in association with Anchor by Spotify. Hey everyone, once again I would like to welcome you all in yet another episode of Life of Data Science Professional. And in this episode, we have invited one of our guest speaker, Gourab Dasgupta. He is currently working with TCS and has previously worked with PwC. So he can give you a bit idea about what kind of journey he comes up with and what kind of data science capability he thinks that previously was there and how it's getting immersed or evolved with the time. So without wasting time, let's welcome our today's guest. Hi Gaurav, welcome to the podcast
Yeah.
section.
Hi Akash, thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me. Yeah.
great. So let's start with the basic question, okay, that we always ask with our uh, professionals that we invite. How is the job going on, or how is the work life balance and everything is going on in terms of work from home scenario? What's your experience right now?
I have a mixed experience. So depending on what kind of project we are working on,
Right.
work, the balance and all depends. But overall, work from home has not been too bad. We are working from
Right.
the comfort of our homes. And yes, maybe sometimes we need to work long hours. But having said that, we're still at home and we are surrounded by our loved ones. So
At our
yeah,
own
it's not been
comfort
too
space,
bad.
right?
Yeah. It's not been too bad, I would say.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is the scenario I think which we have not even realized, right? Even around, I think at the December 2019, right?
Not even
The kind
December.
of
We have taken like even February before the COVID hit us. If on February
hmm,
2020, if we early
hmm,
February, if we were told that from the next month
hmm,
itself the whole world will shut down, we would have thought that
right,
probably something like a crazy person is speaking to us.
right,
But just
right.
1 month prior
Obviously,
after that,
hmm,
the whole world shut down, and none of us were
right,
prepared.
right. Obviously, it's a sudden, right? Even companies not prepared, okay, that
No
this
one.
kind of scenario going to be stretched for so long, right?
2 years.
But
Like this month, it'll be 2 years.
right. I think we're just closing 2 years gap from working from home. Okay, so great. Let's discuss about your initial journey, how your education is, okay, and like what are the things for you look like in the first year of your graduation, okay, and going forward, how things evolve for you, okay, and what kind of opportunity just you'll be able to bag initially.
Right. So I did my graduation. I'm an engineer. So I did my graduation in
Right,
electrical engineering. So again, electrical engineering is not very related to data science, but not very far as well.
right, all
So I
right,
started
right.
off with electrical engineering, and then in the first year, well, we were just after class 12th. We even then, like I got into. So when we were in college, so data science wasn't a household name like it is now. Like
Right.
so, we didn't have much idea about data science particularly. Big data was coming up slowly, which we hear here and there, big data, this and that. But overall, it was not
Right.
very popular. So in first year, I had like most of us didn't know even like whether the IT sector is where we would be working in, or
Okay.
what it would be. So most of us had the idea that okay, we are studying electrical, so we would be working in an electrical company. Uh, so some
Obviously,
like
right.
a power plant or something. This was our core idea of it. Now
Right.
later as we proceeded, so now coming fast forward into the fourth year, the last year of our college. So last year,
Right.
yes, we realized that yes, the IT sector is a very viable place and a
Hmm.
good opportunity to work on. So and then like at that point of time, Java was very sought after. Java was very sought
Right.
after. Python
Right,
was
right.
Python was there definitely.
You're
but Java
talking
was
about the year
2015.
15. Okay, 2015. So I think it's around 7 to 8 years, right? At that
Yeah.
moment, Java is at the top, and Python is, I think, at the evolving stage, right? Right.
Yeah, so Java was really like sought after, and like people used to get trained in Java, like additional training for Java certifications and all. So I didn't go for certifications, but yes, I took it up seriously. That yes, I took it up fourth year. It dawned on me that okay, right now is the time that I need to that IT is a viable option, and I need to look into it. So yeah, I got
Right.
campus placed. So and it was also I got campus placed, and it was in an IT company itself. So
Okay.
now, and luckily, like very luckily, as we know, like for BTech graduates, like most of the IT companies, IT giants, they have a
Right.
3-month training program after hiring. Like
Right.
they have-
Training and all, right.
yeah. So after hiring you, so as an employee itself, they'll train you for 3.5, 4 months. It depends. Like so, and very luckily, I was put into an analytics batch. So I was
Okay.
just like lucky there. So even till then, I had no clue what analytics is, what is what. I had no clue. So I got into the analytics batch. I was put into it. I didn't choose it to be so, but I was put into it.
Right. Okay.
I was, and then
So we can say it just get
yeah, it was
Selected
a boom.
by-
It was a boom. Yeah. So prior to that, what the thought that we had was most of us that academics and work were not hand in hand. That was our thought. And more, it was a
Alright.
well acclaimed thought that academics is very different from work. But as I got into analytics, the first thing that started off with the batch that we started off with, so we were I was in Cognizant then. So it was like mostly the first few days were just statistics. So I always had an
Right.
inclination towards maths and statistics. So it was new. I thought it was a very welcoming surprise to me that okay, so I had been studying these subjects since a long time, and this has actually been taught to me by a company as well. I'm been trained on the same things. I never knew that whether
Okay.
I had no idea the statistics. I had no idea that these are used in the industry as well. So statistics and all these were being trained on. And yeah, prior to that, we used to use pen and paper and these things to solve problems. But now we were using programming languages like R, Python. So first off, we started off with R and all. So as the phase proceeded, we were familiarized with R, the various statistical functionalities, regression, clustering, classification, so on and so forth. And then we shifted to Python. The same things in Python as well. And quite a bit of importance was given on visualization, like the various Python libraries for visualization. And these were and even Excel we were even trained on advanced Excel, like regression in Excel, so on and so forth. So post that, so after the training ended, we were deployed to projects. The first project that I had was of a insurance client, and it was mostly the first 1.5 years, it was mostly SQL based work and data visualization. So it was mostly data visualization and SQL stuff. So after 1.5 years, then it slowly we had a project, and the first data science, I would say, like even visualization is data science, but still, like I would say in terms of data science, I mean statistical modeling and all.
Statistical analysis kind of thing, right?
Yeah, the first thing that I did was it was a project in which we had to basically work with the QA team to understand and to so the QA team had to basically to the client, they had to propose the number of test cases, and based on the number of test cases for particular functionalities, so on and so forth. So we had to basically come up with the probabilistic outcome of a particular test case being a failure or a pass. Like, what is the probability of a particular test case having certain functionalities being a pass or a fail? What's the probability of it? So we had to based on past data. So the first time that was we did was I was involved in statistical modeling was that. So we had built a logistic regression model, and so it was like a very exciting thing for me. Like, I was trained on these things, and now I'm applying
something new.
No, we were trained on these things during my training process, during my training batch, but I never used it after that.
Okay. So implementation, I would say.
Yeah,
the implementation experience was good. Yep.
Yeah, in a real-time implementation, not like Kaggle data sets, like real-time implementation. So
right,
it was like very exciting. Like, and so yeah, we deployed. So this was, and we were the first people. Like, it was a 4-member team, and we were the first ones to come up with this approach. Like, this was the first time Cognizant was proposing something like this to the client. So it was kind of very new, but it was also like we had a chip on our shoulders to prove ourselves. It was a mixed kind of thing, but it was enriching. So yeah, and then and after that, once we did that, we at least for me it was like very enriching. Then I felt that yes, this is what I want to do, because the first 1.5 years it was like whatever was assigned we were doing it. At least for me, whatever was assigned I'm doing it day in day out.
Right.
So once I got a taste of
it's a stage of figuring out, right?
Exactly. So once I got a taste of it, I felt like yes, this is what I want to do. And post that, I spoke with managers and all, and so I got myself involved in the various data science projects. And so there were like computer vision projects I got involved in. There was there were 2 NLP projects that I got into. Like, one was a kind of a translation project from French to English and all. So yeah, for the same it was a claims process. Like people used to review the claims process of the particular insurance client, and for the French customers we had to translate it to English for the business team. So it was a new paradigm. Like, I never worked on
a new shift towards work, right?
So again, new, like, okay, so again we had to learn it up, learn new things, implement it. Again, a very exciting thing. So by then I was kind of very sure that this is what I want to work on. These are the things I was very sure. There was no doubt left. And then I did a few certifications, upskilling. These are necessary because
right, obviously,
because what happens is a particular problem comes up, like a problem statement comes up from the client, and if we are not ready for it, then, or rather, we need to be in a state that we would actually be ready for new kind of problems. Because if we just stay or lean on the classical problems that we always have, then it is not. Then there's not the point. So the first certification I did was with IIM Kashipur. So it was a 7-month long certification certification program. They used to hold live classes every weekend and all. So it was we had to get into through an exam. We had to give a small examination to get into it and all, and it was nice. So again, over there I learned many new things which I didn't know previously. So again, so after that I was more capable, I would say. I knew more things. I knew what the world is working on. So then I very actively got on LinkedIn, because I saw that on LinkedIn people are posting about the projects or the kind of work they're doing. They are posting tutorials, small links, small videos, and I could connect with a lot of people who have been working in this field for the past 5 to 10 years, like in this range, 5 to 10 years, and I could gain a lot from them. So I connected vehemently very actively on LinkedIn with people who are working in the data science field for a certain number of years. Like in this range, from 5 to 10 years in this range, I used to connect a lot, and I actually speak to them, as in text them and ask for their free time, and most of them were very, very helpful and very open to communicate. Most of them, like I would say.
All right.
I got to know about many things. What are the industry trends? What are the things that the the corporates are looking for? What are the trends in the industry? What are the upcoming skills? And what are the new technologies? I got to learn a lot from them. So I should make sure, like, I ask them what are the new things going on. The people used to suggest me certain things. I used to go through them. I used to try and upskill myself on those things. And
obviously,
for the first, these are within the first 3 years. This I'm talking about. The first 3 years was, I would say, I learned the most. The first 3 years, three and a half years. I learned the most. So then then I got to know. After that, I felt that I was capable. I was relatively more capable than what I was previously. So, and then I switched companies, and I moved to PwC, and again, it was a fantastic experience. So I would say, like, one key thing is not to get tied up to one single thing. Like I only work on financial data, or I only work on NLP, or I only work on computer vision. I don't think that is prudent, at least for the early years.
Early years, like, and I think data science gives that exposure, right?
Exactly.
Whatever the field is, it is applicable. Yep.
Exactly. So once we reach a certain experience level, we can call ourselves specialized for that particular topic, like be it NLP, be it computer vision, be it financial data, whatever be it.
Right.
But till a certain age, till a certain experience, I think we should be open to every single possibility that comes our way.
Right. So I think that's a lot that you have covered, and it really make a lot of sense, right? The first and the most important thing that really matters is that you have to be good with the maths. Okay, if you want to get into the real machine learning part, and that is the statistics, right? So as you have just traversed through your electrical engineering journey, okay, so the getting into the job and chosen to be a part of an analytics team, okay, and figuring out that this is what I really be looking for. Okay, so this journey, it's some kind of a sense-making journey for somebody who are, I think, having a similar kind of a background, right? And this can give them an exposure that this is possible. And second, the most important thing I really want to talk about that you have discussed is that once you are learning into something and that is completely new to you, okay, a community will really be helpful. Okay, community means that the people who are in that field, okay, who can work with you, sit with you, and even suggest something with you. And for this, the best platform that I have even considered till now is LinkedIn, because if you are belonging to certain career field, okay, so you can subscribe to some hashtags related to that field, or you can connect with the people in that field, okay, and they often post content related to it, right?
Exactly.
Or even if they are senior, if you give a thoughtful question to them, okay, to me or even to you, Gourab, or anybody who is working in data science, we love to help, because it's really hard to I think find the real connect, okay, but once we build that, okay, or once we find out that there are some other geeks or freshers or somebody want to transition to data science, have some queries, okay, it's really makes sense to help to them. So it's a very great kind of community that is being developed in the LinkedIn, and it really helps. Okay, and later I think that you have discussed about the NLP, computer vision, and data science, machine learning model part. So what I have felt, okay, so from the last 2 years I have worked on different machine learning projects. So what I have figured it out that computer vision problem and model development, like regression and classification, and NLP are very different segments, right? So you have to utilize the different kind of mindset and different kind of capability once you're dealing with a different kind of problem. Because NLP is completely into text analysis, and there are certain kind of modification that you will do, okay, which hardly possible into machine learning models. And similarly, these kind of things apply to the computer vision problem, because there that's a different kind of context that machine is going to understand, right?
Yeah.
So things regarding that, we need to update ourselves, okay, on a continuous basis. And things are available, okay, in the paid version, okay. Paid courses are available, or even it's freely available on Kaggle or other sources. Just you have to figure it out. Even you can find a lot of content by creators on YouTube, or even the podcast where we can look into. You just need to search, okay, and choose what is the best way that will help you.
Yes, you have to keep an open mind and go into everything, right, and then find out your niche. What is your niche? Like, just not limit yourself,
right,
limit ourselves to a particular thing and then say, no, this is what? No. We need to get ourselves into whatever is available for us, whatever challenges is upcoming for us, and then find out whether that is a niche or not. And also, like, I'd like to add one thing. Like, as you said, one has to be good in mathematics. I wouldn't say that. One might not be good in mathematics or statistics, but one needs to like mathematics and statistics. That's the thing.
Right. So
we need to
I think that makes a lot of sense. Right.
Exactly.
So you have to be curious about how things are going.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Because being good or not starts from liking it.
Right. So if you can build the interest, I would say, in mathematics, then I think, or even Gourab, I would say that there are certain fields where mathematics is needed, right? If we are into visualization part, or some basic analysis part, okay, or business side part, we really don't need that kind of skills. But if you are going into the specific problem like model development or computer vision problem, neural network, or even NLP, then there is a bit of strong mathematical concept needed, right?
Yeah, and that comes from your liking towards it.
Right, makes sense. Okay, so I think I'll just make a very important discussions with you, okay, and that's some kind of part that we often face up. So even I once I want to get into data science, okay, or during my professional journey, I have gone through, I think, maybe 15 or 20 plus rejections, okay, because the kind of match is not there, okay, or my profile is not suitable as per what company is looking for, okay. So how your experience, okay, towards the different forms, like what kind of interviews experience you have, okay, and what you suggest to the freshers, okay, or somebody want to transition, or even any fresher, okay, how they should deal with the kind of rejections that they often face, right?
Yeah. So luckily for me, as I was into data science, already working in data science in various
obviously
avenues of it. So I didn't face too many hindrances, luckily. But yes,
right.
I did face rejections in interviews. Obviously, that's a part of it.
Right, obviously.
Yeah, that's a part. I did face rejections, obviously. Like, I remember the first visiting. So my first 3 interviews were rejections. The fourth one, was the first. From the fourth, there were many successes after that. But the first 3 were rejections. So,
great.
Coming here step by step. So suppose, first classification is someone who is already working in data science but still wanting to make a move. So
right.
That person, okay. So even if we are working in data science, we might be working on a particular kind of work. Like, suppose I am working on NLP. Like, it doesn't always depend on us to work on various things. Like, we might be open to various things, but if the projects are of NLP only, I cannot work on computer vision then, right? If there are no projects on that, or if the project that I'm assigned to is NLP, so I'm working on NLP itself. In that case, but the company that I'm interviewing for might need a data scientist, not necessarily an NLP expert, but data scientist who needs to know a lot of other things as well. So in that case, what we can do is, we have to first upskill ourselves. That is always a part of it. Next, there are a lot of, like, Kaggle, there are a lot of projects going on, right?
Right.
real life projects, like maybe not real time most of them, few of them are real time as well, but most of almost all of them are real life projects. Like, so you can just, and we can read blogs, we can just get onto Kaggle, solve a few real life problems. See, suppose I want to get into computer vision and I have not worked on computer vision, suppose. So what are the few things that I can work on? I can just go into Kaggle, work on a facial recognition data set, work on facial recognition. That can be one, and these kind of data sets are easily available.
Right.
And that's a real life issue. That's a real life project, I would say. Facial recognition is used in real life as well. It's not science fiction. It's already in use. So that's a real life project.
Right.
First. Second, I can work on, say, emotion detection. These things.
Yeah, motion detection, right.
Yeah. And these kind of data are already available on Kaggle. And these are real life problems as well. Then we can work on computer vision. We can work on object detection. Say, the number plate recognition of a vehicle, so on and so forth, of a moving vehicle or standing vehicle. So these kind of data sets are available, and these are real life projects as well. So by doing this, what we can know, we can get to know the nitty-gritties of it, the nuances of it, what are things are being used, what kind of packages are getting used, what is the algorithm, like if you are using an algorithm, what is working behind it in the back end, what is under the hood, so on and so forth, right? We would have a comparative analysis of it. Like if you are implementing a particular, say in computer vision, if I'm using I'm doing a classification task, and if I'm using a VGG architecture, and now I want to improve it, so if I can use a RESTnet architecture, so if I have two choices, I'll know, okay, why I'm using a RESTnet over an VGG. Okay, why? Because there is a skip connection in it. So I know for a long, very, very deep neural network, in case of RESTnet, there would not be much of a deterioration in performance. So these comparative analysis, like why am I using this over this one, comes only when you work on it. So
you can and figure it out down the line.
Exactly. So this can be done by ourselves as well, while performing these projects as well. So once we have relatively good knowledge, we can definitely go for interviews, and also like even the interview. Okay, so one thing is very true, that is the people who are taking interviews, even they know that a person cannot be an expert in everything. That's not possible. That person doesn't exist. So, but you need to have a sound understanding of things. So if you are good at one, if you're good at NLP, be good at it. Also develop other parts, statistical machine learning, computer vision, whatever there are. So if you are good at NLP, let that be your anchor, around which you develop other things, like statistical machine learning, computer vision, visualization, and other things.
Right. Have a strong part and have a bit knowledge of different things. Okay. So that you can make such a transition if company wants you to. Right.
Yeah. And honestly, like companies also know that a single person cannot be expert in everything. So you have to play along.
Yep.
Yeah. Now the second category is someone who is an experienced candidate, is working in the IT sector, but not in data science, but wants to transition to data science. So for that person, I would say the person has to go for certifications.
To build the foundation in a great way.
Yes, there are many different organizations that really do give very good knowledge, like not necessarily every certificate would count, but the knowledge you acquire to gain the certificate counts. So there are many organizations, like can I take names, or like I shouldn't?
Sure, you can please. Yep.
So there are organizations like iNeuron and so on. They give really good trainings and all. Like I am not associated with iNeuron anyhow. But I did a certification from there, and the training they give is really nice. Is really good. So again, I'm saying the certification might not always count, but the knowledge you gain while gaining the certificate is what matters. So it is. So there are various other organizations as well. So you can definitely go for that. you should definitely go for that, as well as get into projects. Like there are again like Kaggle, there are many other things. If possible,
yeah, I think Kaggle and Google Colab are the best thing for data science people to get hands-on idea. Yeah,
absolutely. If possible, like if you have any friend who is into freelancing in data science, if there are any, get in touch with them, ask them what they're doing, offer your help.
Yeah.
Say that I want to help you out, I want to get myself involved, and just do that.
Right.
And yes, LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn, connect with people who are already working in data science, connect with them, ask them what skills are needed, what skills the companies are looking for, what are the various kind of projects that are going on. Speak with them, ask for advices, work on those skills, work on yourself, get into like do projects, and like this you build up yourself, you gain knowledge, and then the companies would be in a place to hire you. Like, because there are people who are experienced in data science as well. So if you want to make a mark, you need to be at least at par. So for that you need to work on. And yes, but and this is it. So this is it for people who are wanting to go into data science from other fields. And for a fresher, I would say I work on similar to what the experienced candidate not working in data science would do. You do the exact same thing, very same thing. But I would say also do not ignore the classical things, like the classical languages like Java and all, because see, for a fresher, the first concern is to get hired, right?
So get your first step done.
Exactly. So first of all, to get hired, no matter it is Java development, Python development, data science, whatever be it, but first is to get hired. So most MNCs that go for campusing and all, so these companies do like they still look for the classical like programming skills, so on and so. Like you should not just ignore every other thing and just say I'll only know data science. That would not be very smart a move, I would say.
Right. So as a fresher, be open, and ready for everything that comes onto your hand.
Yes. So we have to develop your programming skills as well. Know Java, know the other languages as well, know Python. Along with that, know data science. That will be your USP, that I know data science.
Right.
I know these concepts. I have worked on these projects from Kaggle. So most importantly, for everyone, like be it experienced fresher or a person who is working but not in data science, wanting to transition, for everyone, get your GitHub game up. Have a GitHub repository. Whatever projects you do, put it on GitHub. Make a nice presentation. Have a good readme of the project. There's a readme section, you know, right? You all know, right?
Right. Readme.md, right?
Yes. So have a good readme so that people understand what this project is about. And in your resume, mention your GitHub link.
Right. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, even I, if I'll be hiring for my company as well, so if it's a GitHub link available, and I have seen like 4 or 5 projects that you have done, so I can understand and get a feeling that you are not faking things. Right.
Exactly.
There is something, that even if you have collected out, on worked with someone, so you have done something, and then that makes a lot of sense. Right.
It might be a solo project. It can be a collaborative. It might be a collaborative project as well. But you have worked on it. You know the thing.
Right.
So that gives, and also once you provide your GitHub repo, that gives a talking point as well. If I'm an interviewer, so if and see, the thing is, we would always want to speak about our strong points, right? Would we like to speak about our weak points? No. It's like in an interview, it is like to show that I am a good candidate. I am a good candidate to hire. So for that, I need to show my strong points. So in a GitHub repo, so if you have worked on those, you know about those things, about those projects, about those concepts. Now you are giving the GitHub link. That gives the talking point. Now, as an interviewer, I click on that link. I see, okay, there are 5 different projects. So on and like, so emotion detection, translation, so on and so forth. Now, so all these 5 projects I have worked on, and I have a clear understanding of it. Now, I am giving the person a clue that, okay, ask me from these things, because I am giving you the link. The person will click on it, see the different projects. Now, even to cross check, the person will think, okay, the person has worked on it. Let me see if he actually knows about it or not. Right? The interviewer will think, okay, let me see if the person knows about it or not. So the moment the interviewer asks about those things, the candidate is ready. The candidate is waiting for the questions to come his way, because he has worked on those things. He knows how to answer.
Right, obviously.
So that gives a talking point as well. So GitHub has to be up and running.
Right. So yeah, I think means we have got a lot of great sections here. Okay, even for those who are freshers. Okay, or for those who are working in any kind of IT or even in other like professional background, but want to transition into data science. So I think I'll just cover up. So in a very short way, the 4 and 5 important points which I can figure out. Okay, one is that either in whatever the field you are, show that you are really interested through your GitHub profile, have a strong LinkedIn, and connect with a lot of people into data science, wanna transition or get a job as a fresher into it. And other more important thing, that look on the basic skills plus certifications if possible, if I can collate all the important points, right? So I think it makes a lot of sense, okay, for the kind of discussions we have. So this is what we try to bring into this podcast, okay, with the kind of discussion that we as a professional, okay, what are we into? Okay, even I think we are getting connected with Gourab through LinkedIn only, right? We get into a community kind of involvement and then figure out that what kind of things we can do. So if you are interested, obviously, so if you are interested, figure it out, okay. Do let us know in any way through our community or even through LinkedIn. Okay, we are ready for you to have a helping hand. Okay, in any way in the professional requirements. Okay, where you want to figure out something and we can really help into you. So these kind of things that really we want to bring out with this discussion. And thanks, Gourab. Okay, I think it's a very insightful discussion that we have done with you. Thanks for joining, and hope everyone will get some great idea. Thanks, and thank you guys. Hope you will enjoy. Bye.
Stay safe. Bye.
Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon.